Hey everyone, and welcome back to my kitchen. Today, we're tackling a dessert that looks super fancy but is secretly incredibly easy to make. That's right, we're making molten chocolate lava cakes. Imagine cutting into a warm, rich chocolate cake and having a river of gooey, melted chocolate ooze out. It's pure desert heaven, and I'm going to show you how to get it perfect every single time. Whether you're planning a romantic dinner, a special celebration, or you just need a serious chocolate fix, this recipe is your new best friend. So, grab your apron and let's get baking. First things first, let's gather our ingredients. You'll be surprised by how simple the list is. We need some good quality dark chocolate. This is the star of the show, so pick something you love to eat. I'm using a 70% dark chocolate bar. We also need unsalted butter, a couple of large eggs, plus 2 extra egg yolks, some granulated sugar, a pinch of salt, a little bit of all-purpose flour, and a splash of vanilla extract. That's it. The key to a great lava cake is using high-quality ingredients, especially the chocolate. It really makes a difference in the final flavor. Now, let's prep our runny. This step is super important to make sure our cakes don't stick. Take 4 6-ounce ramekins and generously butter the inside of each one. Get into all the corners and up the sides. Once they're buttered, we're going to coat them with a dusting of either cocoa powder or granulated sugar. I personally like using cocoa powder because it adds another layer of chocolate flavor. But sugar works great too and gives a slightly crispy edge. Just sprinkle it in, swirl it around to coat the bottom and sides, and then tap out any excess. Set these aside, and we're ready for the main event. All right, it's time to melt our chocolate and butter. We're going to use a double boiler method. If you don't have a double boiler, no worries. Just find a heat-proof bowl that fits snugly over a small saucepan. Fill the saucepan with about 1 inch of water and bring it to a gentle simmer. Place your chopped chocolate and butter into the bowl on top. The steam from the simmering water will gently melt everything together. Stir it occasionally until it's completely smooth and glossy. You want to avoid getting any water into the chocolate, as it can cause it to seize up. Once it's melted, take the bowl off the heat and let it cool down slightly while we work on the eggs. In a separate larger bowl, we're going to whisk together our eggs, egg yolks, sugar, vanilla extract, and that tiny pinch of salt. You can do this by hand with a whisk, but an electric hand mixer makes it much quicker. We want to beat them until the mixture becomes pale, thick, and is almost doubled in volume. This usually takes about 2 to 3 minutes with an electric mixer. This step is crucial because it incorporates air into the batter, which gives the cakes their light, spongy texture. You'll know it's ready when you can lift the whisk, and the batter falls back in a thick ribbon that sits on the surface for a moment before dissolving. Now for the magic part, where it all comes together. Slowly pour the slightly cooled, melted chocolate mixture into the egg mixture. Use a spatula to gently fold it in. We want to be careful not to knock out all that air we just whipped into the eggs. So, use a gentle folding motion, scraping down the sides and folding from the bottom up until it's just combined. You should have a beautiful, silky, uniform chocolate batter. Don't overmix. Just fold until you no longer see streaks of the egg mixture. The final step for our batter is to add the flour. Sift the flour directly over the bowl. This helps prevent any clumps and keeps the batter light. Again, gently fold the flour in until it's just incorporated. Overmixing at this stage can develop the gluten in the flour, which could make the cake stuff instead of tender. So, as soon as you don't see any more white specks of flour, stop mixing. Your batter is now ready. It should be thick, smooth, and also chocolatey. The smell alone is incredible. Okay, let's get these ready for the oven. First, preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 200 degrees Celsius. Now, grab your prepared ramekins. Carefully divide the batter evenly among the 4 ramekins. They should be about 3/4 full. I like to use an ice cream scoop to make this part less messy and ensure they all about the same size, which helps them bake evenly. Place the filled ramekins on a baking sheet. This makes it easier to get them in and out of the oven. Now for the most critical part, baking. This is where we create that molten center. The high heat of the oven cooks the outside of the cake quickly, while leaving the inside gooey and undercooked. We're going to bake them for about 12 to 14 minutes. The exact time can vary a bit depending on your oven. You'll know they're ready when the edges are firm and set, but the very center still looks a little soft and has a slight jiggle to it. It's better to slightly underbake them than to overbake them, because an overbaked lava cake is just a regular chocolate cake, still delicious, but not what we're going for. Once they're out of the oven, you have to let them rest in the ramekins for just 1 or 2 minutes. This is important. It allows the cakes to set up just enough so they do and fall apart when you invert them. After a minute or two, carefully place a dessert plate upside down on top of a ramekin. Then, with confidence, flip the whole thing over. Give the bottom of the ramekin a little tap and gently lift it off. The cake should slide right out onto the plate. Look at that. A perfect little chocolate cake, just waiting to be cracked open. Now for the grand finale, serving them up. These cakes are best served immediately, while they're warm and the center is at its most molten. The classic way to serve a lava cake is with a dusting of powdered sugar on top. It just looks so elegant. You can also add a few fresh raspberries or strawberries for a pop of color and a bit of tartness to cut through the richness of the chocolate. And if you really want to go all out, a scoop of vanilla bean ice cream or a dollop of freshly whipped cream on the side is absolute perfection. The contrast of the warm, gooey cake with the cold, creamy ice cream is simply out of this world. And there you have it, your very own homemade molten chocolate lava cakes. See how easy that was? It's a restaurant-quality dessert that you can whip up in your own kitchen in under 30 minutes. The next time you want to impress someone, or just treat yourself, you know exactly what to do. That first spoonful, when the warm chocolate lava flows out, is a moment of pure bliss. I really hope you give this recipe a try. If you do, let me know how it turned out in the comments below. Thanks so much for baking with me today. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more delicious recipes. See you next time.